Hello, we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining me in the world. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me again this week. Big week. I'm not talking about the Star Wars. I'm talking about the fact that it was Shuri's birthday this week. She turned 4 on Wednesday. Super exciting. She was here 2 seconds ago and left. So hopefully little Shuri makes a cameo during the stream. But yeah, Shuri's 4. They grow up so quickly. Oh, Shuri, you're back. Are you going to come say hi? Oh, you've got such a small voice. I wish you could hear her meow. So yeah, big week, Shuri's birthday. But do you know why else it's a big week? Because it occurred to me that the 19th of October is actually 1 year since my first ever solo stream. And I was like, I've been waiting for an occasion for a Tim Tam giveaway. So at the end of this stream, I'm launching Tim Tam giveaway. Shuri's excited. So make sure you hang around to the end of the stream to find out how you can win delicious Tim Tams. I've got the video ready to go. So as I'm wrapping up this stream, do you mind? Gosh, doing her nails. So when I wrap up this stream, I will post the video. I promised you guys last week. I said the Tim Tam giveaway is coming. So I will launch that at the end of the stream. You guys will have about 10 days to enter. And you have a chance to win a delicious selection of Tim Tams. What better prize could anybody want? I don't know. Shuri, anything better than Tim Tams? Shuri says no. So I've got another audience participation question this week. So I'm keen to hear your thoughts on that. And of course, we'll do Star Wars in 60 seconds because I don't care that it was otherwise a slow news week. I'm doing Star Wars in 60 seconds because that is how I roll on this stream. So let's see who's in the comments ready to hang out. Oh my goodness, Bob Dylan, what did you do? Bob Dylan gifted 56 scale Shiro memberships. That is insane, Bob. The Bob father. That is so incredibly kind. My goodness, that's too much. He's the nicest guy in collecting, Bob. I literally just went to look at the comments and then it was like 50 gifts. I was like, that is insane, Bob. That's so kind. Thank you. You're like you're bankrolling this channel. You are literally you are my benefactor, Bobafactor. Appreciate you and congrats to everybody who's been gifted a membership. You can go see my 2 members videos of Shuri. What more do you want than Shuri? I don't know. She's the cutest cat in collecting, I think. Bob, so kind. Thank you once again. Carlos was first in the chat, as always. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I love that other people are saying that now. Sending my usual salutations from a 49-degree Fahrenheit, cold but sunny New Jersey. That does sound very cold. Wednesday has been released and she looks very well put together, but am I in the minority? Well, if you are, so am I. Also looks like a rehash of more Star Wars. Can Hot Toys not realize that we want a 2.0 of Princess Leia or better yet, Christopher Reeve Superman? What say you, Helen? Anyway, we'll catch the replay later. Let's not forget to hit the like button for our dear friend Helen, and why not subscribe? I mean, I would encourage you to subscribe because I'm pretty sure I'm still going to do a 4K member giveaway. So you'll have 2 competitions to enter in pretty quick succession because we're going to do the Tim Tam giveaway. I'm going to set all that up at the end of this stream, and then I will do something when I hit 4K. I think I'm like 250 away, so not too far. It's crazy to me to think I'm approaching 4,000 subscribers because I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing on the YouTube, but I turn up and I try. Toy Collectors here. Hi all. Hope everyone has a great Friday. Looking forward to the stream. Yeah, I hope everyone has a good Friday. My Friday's almost over. It was fine. I got some Tim Tams to eat later, so it's more than fine. Renz is here. Hello, Helen, Shuri, and chat. Hello to you, Renz. How are you? Happy Friday. Happy kitten beta. I know my little kitten's growing up. I'm not a baby anymore, but still super cute like a baby. We've got Shower on here. Hello, Helen. Hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, 50 applause for Bob. That's insane. That's so incredibly insane. AJ Bruce is here. Greeting friends. Hope all is well. How you doing, AJ? I'm good, thanks. Hope you are too. Laura's here. I've seen your name on social media. Hiya, folks. First time here. Quills, is that how I say your surname? I'm not sure, but welcome. Nice to have a fellow female collector in the chat. That's very cool. I feel like there's more of us out there than people think. Bob Dylan did more memberships. Bob always does more memberships. He's the nicest guy collecting. Greetings, fellow collectors and Star Wars fans. May the Force be with you all. Sure, why not? Oh, Bob, happy streamiversary. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Bob tuned in for that first stream. I unboxed Mantis, and the video quality was very poor because I did not know what I was doing. I was using Wi-Fi. I had never done StreamYard on my own, and I was pleasantly surprised that a whole bunch of people rocked up. There was no notice. I think I just set it up maybe like an hour before and went live, and I went, well, if no one watches, it's fine. And I never would have thought that I now do this every week. I remember at first being incredibly non-committal and saying, oh, like I'll do it when I have something to unbox. But like everyone has been so supportive and encouraging me to keep going. So yeah, it's I don't know how many streams I've done, but yeah, literally it'll be a year on Sunday, which is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. So yeah. There are more gifted subs than people here. It's always interesting to see who gets gifted the subs because, like, I guess you don't realize how many people watch and don't interact. So I always find it interesting to see the names. Maybe that's a bit creeperish of me. I don't know. Mike's here. Hey, everyone. Damn, Bob Dylan. Thanks for the membership. It's raining. Streamiversary. Yeah, it's totally a word. It's totally a word. Mad Planet. Hi, Helen and fellow plastic heads. Hello. You sounding almost Ash Chase-like. I'd like to see Shuri. Oh, me too. I hope she comes back. She normally comes and makes a cameo at some point. If I'm really lucky, she walks across the desk because she wants everyone to see her beautiful tail. So hopefully she'll make a cameo. I almost wore my Shuri shirt for her birthday, but then I don't know. I feel like the weather's going to get a bit cooler tonight and I didn't want to be freezing. So thanks, Bobby D. You are the heart of the 6-scale collecting community. I think he is. I think the spirit and the generosity that Bob has, I think hopefully that becomes a bit contagious because I think some parts of the community would be a better place if they were more in the spirit of Bobby. Ash is here. What's up, plastic crackheads? How you doing, Ash? Happy Friday. Happy Saturday for you, actually. Well, Shuri might be the cutest cat on the Australian continent. I put my cat, Brit, as the cutest on North American continent. That's fair enough. I think all cats are pretty cute. So got people thanking Bob. Ash, oh my goodness, it's incredibly kind. Ash has also gifted 10 6-scale Shira memberships. So yeah, like goodness, it's raining memberships. So I'm keen to see who gets them. But thank you, Ash. That's so incredibly kind. I appreciate that. I'm guessing you're not entering the Tim Tam giveaway just quietly. Helen Submachine is not going to stop. Well, I mean, not yet anyway. I mean, I don't know. I'll keep going for now. I don't know. As I say, I have no... If I was a smarter person, I'd have a plan or a strategy. I just turn up every Friday and talk, and maybe now and then I make a video. Yeah, what's up with the YouTube handles today? Good question, Mike. I noticed that as well. I was like, because like Ash and everyone else doesn't normally have these numbers at the end of the handle, so I have no idea what's going on. I know there was some issues with YouTube the other day, so I don't know if there's still some residual issues from that. I have no idea. I went to watch a video and it just had this error, not available, and then I had heard that it was down in big chunks of the world. Sharon says, I know you are not on the Darth Allison Star Wars train, but man, that Grievous diecast looks amazing with the engineering. Don't worry, we'll talk about Grievous. It's probably not the conversation people want to have, but it's fine because it's not. For the curious, my last name is pronounced Keyless. Okay. I always say this because I have a very epic Greek surname, so I try to say names correctly. So that's why I like to know how to say things. Renz, congrats, Helen. Glad to catch the Streamiversary live. Thank you. Appreciate it. You've been here for a long time, Renz, so thank you so much. Just trying to find the chats that are for me to read out and not between people. Clone Wars Will, happy Friday. Oh, with a name like that, I don't know that I'm not going to upset you later. So apologies if I do. I'm sorry, I didn't even know it was your Streamiversary. I didn't even bring a gift. Happy streaming, Helen. Look, I only recently stumbled across that myself because, as I said, I wanted to do the Tim Tam giveaway and I didn't want to wait till 4,000 subs because I was worried that would happen in the Australian summer, which would be the worst time for me to send Tim Tams because it would be a melted mess. So I was like, how long have I been streaming for? And then when I saw the date, I was like, oh, hang on, these things match up quite nicely. So yeah, as I said, I didn't even realize it's been a year. It has gone very quickly. I spelt crackheads wrong, must be drunk. Maybe. I'm not a number. It's hilarious. Happy stream, Duckversary, Helen. You've successfully united the collectors. Well, I mean, I guess at this stage we guess that Collectors United is not coming back, which is a shame. But I've kept Fridays alive. I said I would keep Fridays alive, and I have. Yeah. I'm doing my best. Wow, that's strange seeing the random name again. Hate when YouTube does this. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know why it's doing this. It's being glitchy. Jaron says, so Helen, I just pre-ordered the Red Hulk from Captain America 4, planning to set him up in a fight pose with classic brown and tan suit Wolverine and She-Hulk. Oh, that's cool. I have I think a lot of people have wondered what the deal will be with Hulk because, you know, Hulk is in the claws of the Wolverine, and I was waiting for some Hulk announcement to come, but then I also feel like it would be a very Hot Toys thing for them to then not do a Hulk. So yeah, I mean that's Red Hulk. I think looks cool. The movie was okay. I didn't love it, didn't hate it, but I don't know that I need figures of it. But I think any Hulk figure is impressive, and I think the She-Hulk figure is very impressive as well. So I'm sure that will be a cool display. Equos, I hope I'm saying that right. Hello to you. Happy Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Ash, his battle damaged Deadpool finally shipped this week. Yay! I have no idea what the next figure I'll receive is. I have no idea. I feel like everything I have on PO is still such a ways away. Oh, thank you. You're always doing great on Fridays. Look, I try. There's some weeks where I'm like, weeks like this week where I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Why am I turning up to talk about Star Wars? Lol. Raymond's here as well. Hey, Helen, hope you're doing well. I am, Raymond. Hope you are too. Mike says, I thought YouTube was having an issue during Will's live in-art stream because Hot Toys was throwing massive amounts of shade their way. Guess it's more widespread. No, I think it was more widespread. But yeah, it was having some issues. That's why I'm wondering if that's why the usernames are looking a bit funky today. I wasn't sure if, it was something in StreamYard, but given you guys are seeing it on YouTube as well, I'm guessing it's a YouTube thing. We need an Avengers 1 Hulk 2.0. Well, did anybody watch my latest video? Guys, I made a video, which is rare. And I do talk about old mate Hulk in it. I still think the 1.0, it's an oldie but a goodie. I just don't know how easy it is to find. I feel like it's very rare to find that 1.0 Hulk available on the secondary market. I think it's still amazing. Absolutely love mine. But yeah, I think so many people want a 2.0, and I was really thinking after that brown and tan, is that what they call it, suit Wolverine, that they would do it, even if it was just like a limited run. I don't know. Sharon says, I didn't like Captain America 4. It's replacing the game Venom. Oh, that fell. Fair enough. Red Hulk is not as big as him, but it feels like a good replacement. That's fair enough. I've heard there's been a lot of attrition on YouTube lately and content creators are leaving the platform. We miss Joanne and Christian, but I'm thankful we have you, Helen. Here are your flowers. Thank you. That's very kind. Look, I think life happens for people. Certainly in the case of Christian and Joelle, that's, life happens. And I've had that with other endeavors that I've done. I did a podcast for like 10 years and then, we kind of felt like we did our dash and we moved on. So I feel like, depending on what you do and how much you do, like it can take up a lot of time. I really, I take my hat off to people that are doing videos every day or even every week, because I feel like the stream's still very easy compared to like the videos. And I feel like that's probably why I'm so bad at producing videos at regular intervals. But that's the thing. I think, work, kids, relationships, like things come up and sometimes your attention's got to go elsewhere. So I hope Joelle and Christian come back someday. I've always said, like, I would totally be on board for Collectors Unite reunion tour whenever they're ready to do that. But as I say, for now, I'm keeping Fridays alive. I'm wondering if that Tron Ares figure will finally pop up next week. Hot Toys did a Hong Kong promotion. They were doing a figure. It would be awesome to get Ares in the light cycle. Yeah, they showed the Ares figure at Wonderfest, didn't they? Because that was a bit of a surprise, because that, and there was a second Death Stranding. Is that the game? I always forget what it's called. Death Stranding, I think it's called. Figure that they showed but hadn't been announced. So hopefully, I don't know if that's going to be one where they wait to see how the movie goes. I mean, I was hoping we'd see Eve Macaro ballerina at Wonderfest, but lol, not yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully not things that go in the figure graveyard. Mike says, Helen, I didn't even see your video. You're right. Hawkeye's still pretty good. Oh, I didn't even bring some things. There's a typo. That's cool. No, I do still like that Hawkeye 1.0. I know people tend to just assume older figures are not that great, and I've been on this real I've been trying to be very mindful to appreciate what I have more than just be focused on what's the next pre-order, what's the new figure, thrill of the chase. And that's probably where that video came from, because I look at so many figures I have, and a lot of the figures I have are pretty old, but I still think so many of them hold up. And I feel like it's sometimes good to take stock of what we have, but I also think appreciate the quality of which Hot Toys has been producing like really good figures. Like you've got figures from like 10 to 15 years ago that I still think look good, and people get so hypercritical of minute details. And I still maintain that I don't know there's a Hot Toy that I've ever received that I've looked at and gone, oh, this is rubbish, I don't like this. So that's kind of where it came from. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If they did a 2.0, I'd be tempted more for better articulation. But if they never do it, I still think that Hawkeye is really good, and I'm very happy with it. Raymond says, best never to click backwards. Would be a shame to get Hulk 1.0 for a premium and have Hot Toys announced 2.0. I mean, that's the roll of the dice, right? You never really know what they're going to do in that regard. So I mean, I'm a very I would say I'm a very patient collector. I set a price in my mind and I wait. And if I find it for that price, I go for it. And I'm not I don't like to lowball people. I don't like to haggle. And it's funny because sometimes I've gotten stuff for the price I wanted. Sometimes I've got it for less. Just depends. But it is as I say, you need to be prepared to play the long game. And I would always say not to pay a price that you're not comfortable with just because of FOMO and because you want to have it. Ash says, I have one more Deadpool Wolverine figure to buy. After that, no idea what I'm going to do. Maybe a break for a while. Yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with the break. I think buying things for the sake of buying things is another trap that I think people get into. Like, you know, you have that, you know, itch you want to scratch with a new figure, and then you buy something, and then I feel like later on when space is an issue or it doesn't quite fit your collection, then you're trying to sell it. And trying to sell figures secondhand is a pain, and I feel like you rarely get your money back. You rarely break even. So I just would rather be a bit more selective with what I get. Oh, sorry, Helen, that came out wrong. I did see your video and agree your Hawkeye figure still looks good. Sorry for my temporary dyslexia. That's fine. Typing, I get it. But yeah, there was other figures that I almost included in that list, but then I was like, I had to draw a line because I still think the Blake and Gordon 2-pack looks really good. But then I didn't want to just have people be like, are you just showing us all your Dark Knight figures? Yes, I am. But cut it down to 7. Ren says, love your review on the Osaka Continental diorama base, Helen. Classy display. Thank you. It's up there at the moment. And we're going to talk about displays in our audience participation questions. So thank you for that segue, Renz. I appreciate that. Miss Batwoman's here, channel member. Happy Friday, Helen, Shuri, and everyone. Happy Friday to you. 10 years. Wow, Helen. Can you tell us more about the podcast? What was it about? Where, etc.? Very interested. Oh, it was of no interest to anyone in the audience. It was a stream about Australian women's basketball. It was a lot of fun to do, but then, as I say, like 10 years, and then we just went, we've done our run. Let's move on. So yeah, a lot of fun while I did it. But for now, I'm enjoying having my YouTube channel and having a different creative outlet, which is fun. Jaron says, I went to see Aries the second time on Tuesday. Not a great movie, but one I like. I'm a big Tron fan. That's fair enough. Jaron also says, I was curious, what did you think of Hot Toys doing that Vadar Mustafar? That's how I say it in my head. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it. Edition, which is basically the Sith apprentice figure minus eye color change and base difference if they do this for other figures. Shuri, they want to know what I think about the Star Wars. Are you going to come and say hi? People want to wish you happy birthday, kiddo. You just want to meow at me. Okay. Look, I have views and thoughts, and I think I'm best to save it for 60 seconds, because if I say it now, what am I going to say when it's the Star Wars minute with Miss Helen and Miss Shuri? You coming up? You going to say hi? I think they're here for you more than me. I really do. Okay, you're being shy. Helen, your collection of videos help me appreciate the hobby again. Oh, thank you. I have so many figures, but I should appreciate what I have and enjoy them for being the best product at their time. Retrospective. Thank you. As I said, I found myself in that. Use your words. I found myself in that trap as well. Like I'd hunt for a figure, I'd get it, I'd spend 2 minutes with it, I'd chuck it in my cabinet, and then I'd be like, the next one. And I was just like, this is not great. You know, particularly in Australia, these figures are not cheap. You're often dropping minimum $500. Let's appreciate what we have. And I actually did a video a while back about that process I go through to like enhance my collecting experience and the things that I do, which includes things from like rewatching like the source material to get posing ideas, rewatching reviews, because often there's a bit of a delay between when figures come out in Hong Kong and we get them in Australia. And even when I'm unboxing, I try to, like, often I'm doing it on a stream, but I do try to take my time and really look and appreciate the figure. And I think it does make you appreciate what you have more. Because I mean, I think, I know you've got a much bigger collection than me, but I've got like 100 plus figures. Like, what a luxury. Like, what an amazing hobby to have all these things, like amazing vehicles, amazing armories. Like, I want to make sure that I'm enjoying what I have because I'm lucky to have so much, I think. Well, I meant this could be practice for Hot Toys doing more going forward. Yeah, all the Star Wars all the time. Every Star Wars figures 38 times. Oh, Ash says, I've gone to props. I have 2 Marvel Legends Wolverine masks, and yesterday picked up the Daredevil mask and club set. So awesome. Oh, that's cool. I remember there was a phase, I want to say a couple years ago, but it's probably a lot longer than that, where there was a company that was doing some really cool, like, cows, and they came with stands. I know that's so descriptive. You can just picture them, but I feel like they did some really cool stuff. And I had to resist that because I've often seen, even on pop culture, they have like some Batman cows. And I'm like, oh, I can't get into props and other things. And people 3D printing some cool stuff, like Costa over at Pop Culture Living Room. He's quite into 3D printing. And on his Discord, he has a 3D printing channel. And some of the stuff people are making 3D printing are insane. Like, not only things like the helmets, but like superhero logos and stands for their displays. Like, some really cool stuff. Super cool. Sharon says, sold my BVS Batfleck 2.0 Deluxe. The figure would not work going onto my Flash. Bat Cycle. Oh, shame. It was the fastest sale ever. It was up 30 seconds and it was sold. Well, I feel like that's how it is. I feel like it either sells in a second, or, like, I'm not joking when I say it took me like 2 years to sell Age of Ultron Captain America. I'm not even joking. That's why I am so picky about what I actually pre-order now. Okay, I think that's more about Star Wars. I mean, they might just do one special figure to try to do the same thing with slight changes, which seems it would undercut their previous release. Well, I mean, they did that with the Mando, didn't they? Like, they brought out a Mando and then like 3 seconds later it was the other, was it the Chrome Mando? I can't remember. Star Wars. Alter Ego Studios made some Batman cows, mostly BVS. Oh, okay. On Pop Culture, it tempted me because there was a Keaton one. And there was a second one, which I forget which one it was, but maybe it was the Bale one. And they did look so very cool. But as I say, I try not to go too far, because even I used to be really big into like autographs and things like that. And I've really tried to cut that back because I only have so many walls to put things up. And I also collect the Hot Toys, so lol. God, that was the world's longest intro. Shall we go into some newsy news and some other things? Yes, we should. I'm so glad you suggested that. First of all, I'd like to thank my channel members, and I know there's been so many channel members gifted, but I've tried to go through the list and find my peeps that are paying and regulars, and if I've forgotten you, I'm sorry, and please let me know so I can add your name to the list. So I want to say a big thank you to the Broke Collector, my foundation member, AJ Agrusa, Pop Culture Living Room, Kevin LaFranc, Aaron Broverman, Tijuana Mike, Keith Lee, Valkyrie Magnus, Miss Batwoman, Bob Dylan, the Bob Father, who's gifted all the channel memberships, and Blue Tattoo. Thank you guys so much. Is there any William Wang updates? No, of course there isn't, because it's 2025 and William Wang doesn't run a business anymore. Where is he? I don't know. No one's heard from him. No one's seen him. So this is my weekly PSA, particularly for anyone who's new to this stream. One Man's Hobby / William Wang. You're not going to have a fun time if you go up on that website that's still up, much to my annoyance, and pre-order anything. It's not coming. You are going to lose your money. If you've ordered something and you're in a chargeback window, please take action. People are legitimately out thousands of dollars because this guy literally took the money and ran. So I'm keeping this up for as long as this website is still up. And just another reminder that if you did pre-order the Jazz Inc. Catwoman through One Man's Hobby, Jazz Inc. is being super helpful to collectors. They have transferred a number of orders for people who've ordered through William and provided proof of that. They've transferred their orders direct to Jazz Inc. and they've also honoured the deposit amount. Jazz Inc. confirmed that William has defaulted on his payments for the Catwoman figure. So he's probably never getting stock. You're probably never getting it. But you do have some recourse in getting that pre-order moved across to an order directly with Jazz Inc. So I think that's an amazing thing that Yosh and his team is doing for the community. So if you've ordered Jazz Inc. Catwoman, which I know is a really important figure for a lot of people, get onto Jazz Inc. and ask them to transfer your order across. And as I say, make sure you provide some proof of deposit, and I'm sure they will look after you. AJ says, could have been Pure Arts, but I also know there is more accessible company too. Maybe I'm so bad at names, as I think you all know. Carter reviews. I'm preparing my collection for the 1-to-1 scale Anne Hathaway Catwoman. Do you have that on order? Because you have more pre-orders than my collection, and it wouldn't surprise me if you did have that off on pre-order. Mike says, I can't help but chuckle every time you bring this up, Helen. It's like the community's cold case. I still don't feel like enough people have been talking about this. And whenever I've seen people try to post in groups, it gets deleted. And thankfully it hasn't been for a while, but there was a time when every week on Reddit, hey guys, is One Man Hobby a good website to order from? No, he's been missing for pretty much all of 2025. His last post has more than 1,000 comments that he's never responded to. Nothing good can come from William Wang and One Man's Hobby. And I say that as someone who has a couple of outstanding pre-orders with him that I'm never going to get. I'm grateful that it's a small amount of money. I'm grateful that I was able to secure those pre-orders elsewhere because they were for some So-So Toys figures. But given that website's still up, and I just feel the need to keep reminding people, because I don't really know if many other YouTubers are talking about this. Like, I know Virtual Devil did a video, and oh my goodness, there's another guy in the UK. I'm so sorry, I've forgotten his name. He did a video. I don't feel like it's as talked about as things like Toys Wonderland, but I feel like it's up there for impact. Like, a lot of people are impacted by this. So hence, I keep bringing this up. Anthony Stanfield's here. Hey, Anthony. Hello, everyone. Got my invoice from Kit. Wolverine Deluxe is on the way. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Let's go on. Chat audience participation question, and I totally have an agenda with this question. So everyone, there's about 40 of you in the chat, and I want to know, how do you feel about displaying figures in places where they are exposed to dust? So I'm a nerd, so I like to look at photos of people's displays, how have they got things set up, and some people do have just like open shelving with figures. Maybe they stack things on top of display cases. And my space is at a bit of a premium at the moment. And I was looking at the space that I have and wondering, how can I maximize my display space? So I'll give you a photo. Here's my room with the lights on. There it is. Because as I've said to you guys, I didn't want to pack away my Osaka Continental diorama. So I popped it on top of the cabinet. And it made me think, should I be using that space on top of my two cabinets? Because it would free up a bit more room for things. And because I'm a total nerd, I also like to draw things out. So my thinking was, could I do something like this? Could I move my quarter scale figures on top of the cabinet, move my 89 to 97 Batman figures into this main cabinet, and then put my World of John Wick figures there? But part of me does go, how do I feel about the dust? Because I used to have my Batmobiles, my tumblers on top of my cabinets, and I hated how dusty they got and how I felt like I didn't appreciate them as much because they didn't have the nice lights on them like the cabinet. So it got me thinking, like, what do people think about this, having figures displayed out in the open where they are susceptible to dust? Because I know some people have open garage shelving units, open shelving. So I legitimately, because I'm having this dilemma myself, I was like, what do people think? Like, because I legitimately, as I say, I think it will help me frame what I plan to do. But also, I then go, I need to do a collection room tour before I do that and change things up. But as I said, I was genuinely wondering, because then there's a part of me that I love my Dark Knight cabinet. And do I want to break that up by then having the 89 to 97 figures in there? I don't know. But as I said, my bigger thing is having, like, particularly figures that are fabric, like suits, like just taking in dust. So I want to know what you guys think. Whether you're live or in the replay, thank you to everyone who answered my question in the replay about if you were a figure, what 3 accessories would you come with? There were some really cool answers. Someone wanted to come with a 6-scale F1 car, which I thought was an amazing accessory to want to come with. So thank you. And again, if you're watching on the replay, let me know. How do you feel about displaying figures in places where they are exposed to dust? Before we get onto the answers, Mike says, Helen, you're not wrong to bring it up and it's appreciated, but Shuri needs to dig up that wang. On second thought, never mind. Yeah, I know. Little Shuri is got to get on the case because she's the director of security. I got to get her a little cat passport and send her over to... I'm worried. Can she go to China on her own? I don't know. Uncarded Review says, my display room is pretty much thematically sorted. Dust is virtually non-existent. Oh, hermetically sealed. What's hermetically sealed? Like, it's a dust-proofed room? Is that what that means? That's fancy. Raymond says, as long as you try to keep the rooted figures inside the cases to minimize dust on the rooted hair, plastic is very easy to clean. Oh, that's a really good point, Raymond. I hadn't considered that. I don't have a lot of rooted hair figures, but that is a very good point. And that's my thing with the suits, because like that quarter scale Joker, it's all kind of a fabric suit. But that's a good point. I hadn't even considered rooted hair. Ren says, my case is still a work in progress and I only have 7 figures, so I just dust them until I have the time and money to continue working on my case. That's fair enough. Anthony says, I've had stuff in the open and it's covered in dust and it's a nightmare. I wouldn't do it if I could help it. Oh, interesting. Okay. Robert's here. First time here. Loved your stream. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Welcome to you, Robert. Thank you for coming to hang out. AJ says, I have most of my figures in cases, but there are some I just have to do it, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Uncarded Review says, store up your treasures in heaven. I mean, dusting comes with the territory, I guess. I mean, yes, but also, literally why I built the garage display was to get my tumblers out of the dust into a cabinet. So I'm going, is it not counterproductive to now put other things on top of the cabinets to not be well lit and covered in dust? But I'm so indecisive about this room and the future of it because I've mentioned a million times. I don't know if I just want to build one more case or blow everything up. And I don't have it in me to pack up the Osaka Continental diorama. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I don't know. The joys of being an overthinker. Mike says, I love this question, Helen. It may sound weird, but I find it kind of zenish to pick up each piece and spend a lot of time with it while I dust it off. Maybe adjust each post slightly. No, I totally get that. I think it's probably a thing that makes you stop and appreciate your collection as well, which I think is totally cool. Laura says, my bookcase where I display my figures are open. Can't say they get that dusty, but I also have a couple of figs on top of my bookcase. No shelf over them. They get dusty and need to be tended to. Yeah, I can understand that. My eyes are totally going. The Randy Poser. What an interesting name. Hi, sorry I'm late, but first time catching you live. Well, hello. Thank you for catching me live. I hope you're doing well. I new names are cool, so thank you. I appreciate people who tune in or giving me their time. Time is probably one of the most precious assets we have. Windman42 here. Hello. I will not have fabric figures exposed to dust. Only statue type things. I don't have any proper statues, just smaller things under 12 inches. And I do dust them every few months, but I'm talking maybe 6 items. That's fair enough. Hermetically sealed means to completely airtight and gas tight, preventing any external gases, moisture, or contaminants from entering or escaping, according to AI. You have a room like that? Is there like a machine that does that? How do you I'm thinking like a dehumidifier, but not. I've literally never heard about this in my life. I thought about this when my collection started growing. I bought modular cases and try to dust around my room once a month. Oh, you have modular cases. I looked at modular cases. I've looked at every single option when considering this room, and I still can't make my mind up. But I hear they're pretty good for keeping the dust out, the old modular cases. I've never heard people say dust is a big issue with them. The Broke Collectors here. Hello. I stopped fighting dust long ago. My quarter scale premium formats are out. I vacuum around once a year. Spiderwebs and dust give them personality. Well, it's funny you say that, the Broke Collector, because another reason this question came up is because when I was like, I don't want to put the Osaka Continental diorama away. Where do I put it? When I looked at the top of these cabinets, it didn't feel like there was much dust up there. And I can't even remember the last time I looked up there. It would have been like, I'm saying getting to close to 2 years from when I built that case to put them in. So I was a bit like, oh, there's not that much dust up here. Maybe I could display something here. I don't know. Ash says, I have open at the moment, but looking at closing them for shelves I own. I fully... Okay, so you've got open shelves, but you're thinking you will close them in. Okay, that's fair enough. Anthony says, I live in a 120-year-old Victorian terrace house. Unfortunately, it's super dusty all the time. Well, I feel like it's a bit of an issue in Australia as well, because I feel like, particularly in Perth where I live, it's very sandy and very windy. So, like, the dust is kind of inevitable, but I feel like that's kind of an Australian thing. Windman says, I also live in the desert. I feel like I can't even read today. Oh, I'd love living in a desert and having to desert and eating my way out. Okay, I'm so going brain dead. Okay, you live in the desert, so you never let your fabric figures get dusty. Only have them out of cases when reposing and taking pictures. Yeah, that tends to be my thing. I have them in the cabinets, and then if I need to film them for a video or take photos, maybe I take them out. But I'd also love to live in a desert. Maybe that could be an audience participation question. If you could live in a desert, which desert would you live in? It'd be so hard to pick. Ren says, I think I'll clean my case next month. The dust and spider webs it has right now is perfect for Halloween. I mean, it's on brand for Halloween, 100%. Lots of typos in my message. Sorry, autocorrect. I know I have fat fingers and I hate typing on phones. I always think of The Simpsons when Homer like puts on all that weight so he doesn't have to go to work and he's trying to ring the power plant. And it gets that error message, and it's like, the fingers you're using to dial are too fat. If you would like to request a special dialing wand, please mash the keypad with your palm now. That's how I feel when I'm there, and I'm always having to edit messages because it's autocorrect or just fat fingers. The Randy Poser says, currently rebuilding my setup with cabinets only. Done the floating shelves look and dusting did my head in. Yeah, that's my concern. And I just can't make my mind up what I want to do with my display cabinets. One day I'll make it up. Helen, did you say it's sandy where you are? Well, you won't have to worry about Anakin being anywhere near you. He hates sand. Just ask Allison. Thought Shuri was here. Alice, yeah, Darth Allison would know. I just don't indulge her. Simpsons reference. Look, there's going to be another Simpsons reference coming up. So if you like a Simpsons reference, because I have to say, like, I always drop Simpsons references at work and no one in my work team knows. And it's the most frustrating thing ever. If I win the contest, I'm going to build a house made out of Tim Tams. Oh, I don't know if you would have enough. You could maybe build, oh my God, you know what you could probably do? You'd probably have enough Tim Tams. You know, like how people make gingerbread houses for Christmas? You could probably make a Tim Tam house for a figure. That's an idea. Tim Tam house. Ash says, I have 4 shelves up, 2 on one wall, 2 on another with Deadpool life-size between 2 of my shelves. Looks dope. Oh, that's cool. Back in the day, pop culture used to have a life-size Dark Knight Christian Bale statue. It was $10,000, and I wanted that so badly, but I was like, where do I put it? How do I justify this? And there's part of me that's like, now goes, in hindsight, that was probably a bit of a steal for 10 grand, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, thank you for participating in my audience question. If you're watching the replay, let me know. Am I making a horrible mistake by thinking of putting figures up there? Because I feel like these Batman quarter scale figures would be okay, but the Joker, but also, do you know what else is my concern? Falling. That's a long way to fall. That's like 1.8 meters, which I think is about 6 feet. That's a long way to take a topple. And I'm going to think of every worst possible situation. I don't know. I'll work it out eventually, right? Broke Collector says, between my back door always being open for the dogs and cat's litter box dust is losing battle for me. Oh, yeah. That's my thing with little Shuri, because she's got her magnificent coat and she does shed a bit. And it spins me out sometimes where I find her fur, because if I open one of these cabinet doors, as you know, she's prone to jumping in. She's jumped in with the Jokers. And then I find her magnificent fur everywhere. So I get it. And so that's why I typically don't have this room open unless I'm here. But yeah, it's funny. She always wants to come into this room because it's the one room that typically has the door closed. And she blesses me with her fur as a result. Tijuana Mike's here. Happy Friday, collectors. Happy Friday to you, Mike. Hope you're doing well. So we'll move on. Guys, it's the reason you're here. Star Wars in 60 seconds. Don't lie. It's like the most unique Star Wars commentary you're going to get on YouTube. I feel like I was given a reprieve. Howie Claus, he blessed me with a few weeks off of the Star Wars. And then he had to drop 3 things at once. Because Howie Claus gives and Howie Claus takes away. But I can't be mad with him because he gave me beautiful new John Wick figures. And that is a gift in itself. I need 2 ticks. Excuse me. Randy says there's guys online that will make custom made to measure perspex display boxes worth getting for the tops of the units. Yeah, I totally am aware of them because I had looked at them for my tumblers originally. And I don't know if it's just an Australia thing, but the prices were up there. So I'm at a point where I don't know if I want to move this cabinet there and build something of the same height as these other two, or move the two glass cabinets or get rid of them and get glass cabinets of a similar height. My mind changes all the time. I think I just need to. There's a store here that has glass cabinets that I feel like might be in the ballpark of what I want. I feel like I just need to go and have a look at them to either have them as a contender or rule them out. The movie cannons here, hello. 14 Wellingtons here. Everybody's come for 60 seconds. Star Wars in 60 seconds. It's the highlight of any stream. Let me mentally prepare. You know what we do on this channel? Because if you're new, I don't do the Star Wars. I'm sorry. If you feel the need to cancel me or tune out, you made it this far. And to that, I congratulate you. But I like to feel like part of my charm is my unapologeticness, not a word, for not watching the Star Wars. And because I feel like I've got to cover the newsy news, but then I've also got to think of my sanity. We've come up with this compromise, which is Star Wars in 60 seconds. I think it's the highlight of my stream. Oh, goodness, what's this now? Oh, God, more Star Wars people are coming. Cause 2K, hello. You may say goodbye to me in a minute, which wouldn't be upset by. I wouldn't blame you. Keith Lee's here. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Happy Friday, folks. Happy Friday to you, Keith. Hope you're doing well. It's that time of the stream. Helen's ring light's always in a bad spot. We put a minute on the stop clock. I'm going to recap Star Wars news in 60 seconds because that's what I want to do. I always ask the Lord above to bless me. I never feel ready for these, but here we go. Star Wars in 60 seconds starts now. General Grievous looks like the kind of insect they warn you about before you come to Australia because it could kill you. He has 4 lightsabers for reasons I don't know, pew pew. Anakin, Darth Vader, all of them, all the time, exclusively at Sideshow. I looked at this and I said, what's different about this Darth Vader? I think it's this base. And honestly, it reminded me of that episode of The Simpsons when they tried to release that Leeson Lionheart figure, but then Malibu Stacy came out with a new hat, and all people cared about was that Malibu Stacy had a new hat. This is the Hot Toys / Star Wars version of Malibu Stacy with a new hat, exclusively at Sideshow. But you know what? Malibu Stacy's not the only person who gets a new hat. Obi-Wan deserves a new hat as well. So Obi-Wan gets a new hat. But not only that, Obi-Wan is also going to get a beautiful wool implantation mini section of hair, because if it's good enough for in-art, it's good enough for Hot Toys. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Helen just wants to make Darth Allison very annoyed by not going over her big multi-armed dreamboat General G. Oh, got my name correct. I will keep you in the background. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ash gets it. Everything he can kill you. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Sharon says they even reuse the same pictures. All these Anakin, Darth Vader, whatever the heck he is, they all look the same to me. How many do we need? Like, what is the difference? The base. It's legit Malibu Stacy with a new hat. And they're at the shop and they're like, no, get the Leeson Lionheart figure. But it's Malibu Stacy and she's got a new hat. She's got a new hat. Fancy. Applause from Renz. Thank you. She did it. Thank you. 14 Wellington. Applause. Thank you. I'm assuming Cause 2K agrees. How many Obi-Wans do we need? All the Obi-Wans, all the time. And you know what gets me with these? They release every minute nuance of a character, and then you'll get some Star Wars fan going, yeah, but when are they going to make the Obi-Wan from this scene where the robe is slightly a more darker cream color? I cannot. Of course, you could make the same case for how many Bale Batmans and Heath Ledger Jokers do we need. I 100% agree. The purple coat Joker has been done to death. There's so many different looks for Heath. Someone do a police Joker. Someone do a nurse Joker. I totally agree. I'm not arguing. Heath Ledger Joker needs to be retired for a decent amount of time. This Hot Toys Minute is worth some memberships. I mean, I like to think so, but I also see that I had a drop in viewers. So obviously I've offended some people. So, sorry, not sorry. Now I can't get off my mind that Grievous looks like a huntsman spider. He does. He legit looks some kind of, like, deadly cricket spider thing. That's all I could think about. I feel like it would be like, so you're coming to Australia. Good on you, Cobber. Here's a few things you need to know. Warn you about the snakes. Warn you about the spiders. Warn you about the Grievous thing with the 4 lightsabers. Oh, Jaron, that's so kind. It's raining memberships today. Jaron gifted 5 6-scale Shiro memberships. I've had like 65 memberships gifted tonight. That's insane. Thank you so much. Everyone's been super kind. Incredibly kind. Yeah, damn it. Where's more Deadpool? I really need now. Give me more Howard. I mean, if we're asking Howie Claus for things for Christmas, where's Okoye? Where's Okoye? I said this on Joey's stream last night. I'm expecting a version of Obi and Anakin from every planet they visited, like a vacation album. I mean, why not? So many versions all the time. Austin's here. Hello, Helen. I finally caught your live stream. Question, you said in your top 7 old school best Hot Toys figures, will you ever get the AOU Captain America figure again? So I did have that figure. It didn't really fit with my collection, so I sold it. I don't know that I would get it again. I kind of fell into this trap with ordering figures that I thought looked amazing, but didn't fit in with my collection. And I had a bunch of just standalone Cap figures. So I had Age of Ultron. I had the stealth suit, the black one. I had the rescue Cap. I had a military outfit Cap. And when space became a bit of an issue, I was like, I either build out a Cap shrine or I wanted the space for my A-Force. So unfortunately, those kind of standalone Cap figures had to go to make way for other things. But I had that Age of Ultron Cap for a long time. I really loved it as a figure. I really liked that magnetic shield, and I get it was a function in the movie, but I wish Hot Toys had kept it as a feature because those straps do tend to break, and I really liked how secure that felt, but also having it on the back of the figure without that kind of clumsy plastic clip felt nice. So yeah, I don't know that I would get it again, but I enjoyed it when I had it. And as I said, I just my A-Force was the priority, so unfortunately some of those Cap figures had to go. Sharon says, when I went to Australia 20 years ago, no one warned me about the snakes. I mean, I nearly fell into a saltwater crocodile enclosure and almost got eaten. Oh, goodness. Did you go to the Northern Territory? Yeah, snakes are a thing. I literally, like, you've got to even be careful with, like, not having grass too long because they can hide. But yeah, I feel like I'm good with a lot of the critters, like the spiders and stuff, no drama, but the snakes, I got no time for the snakes. Natalie Harris is here. Afternoon, Helen. Hope you're okay from the UK. I'm good. Hope you are too. Oh. Cause 2K says, still here, and I respect your opinion, even from Star Wars fan. As you can see from my profile picture, yeah, that's Anakin, Darth Vader, someone. I don't pretend to know. Broke Collector says, Star Wars PSA, maybe start this minute with the alarm from the emergency broadcast system. If you're going to trigger people, might as well go all out. Oh my God, you know what's so interesting? When I was in the US last year, I was in Phoenix and my phone started making this noise I never heard it make before. And I was like, what is going on? I literally thought it was like, is this like an evacuation tone for the hotel? Like, it took me a while to work out what was happening. Then I realized it was my phone. And I then got this text message talking about, God, I think it was some like warning about like a dust storm or something. And I was really tripped out because I was like, what the hell is my phone doing? Like, this has never happened before. And then when my friend picked me up for dinner, I was telling her about it. She's like, oh, yeah, no, when they send out like a warning, like your phone makes this noise. And I was like, not in Australia, it doesn't. Your phone can't just do like a warning symbol and freak you out. It was a lot. So, yeah, maybe I need to find that noise and I can have some flashing lights and do a warning for the Star Wars fans. Austin asks, Helen, do you have a top 4 figure of the year? As in, what is my top 4 or just a what is my top 1? Goodness, how many figures did I get this year? Great question. God, what did I get this year? Like, I haven't been thinking of figure of the year as in what I've gotten. I definitely feel like the Artisan Black Widow, I think overall would be up there for me for figure of the year. But figures I've got this year that I've really liked, like I love John Wick 4. The Mars Toys Two-Face, I think, is a really good figure. My Armory Batman, my Dark Knight Rises Armory Batman is an insane upgrade from the DX12. I only got Bane this year. I know he released last year, but I only got Bane and Joker this year. I think they're both fantastic. And this is where it's always tricky for me because when they talk about figure of the year, I'm like, do we base it on Hong Kong release or when I got it? Because the Joker came out in Hong Kong in like November last year, but I didn't get it till like 6 months later. But I think that would be my short list, but that's probably most things I got this year. So to be fair, I was like 20 years old when I went. I had ability to recognize my mortal danger about as well as Psyduck from Pokemon. I feel like I know who that Pokemon is, but also not really. Anthony says, growing up in Australia, sometimes snakes came into the classrooms at school and the teachers had to catch them while the children screamed in terror. And sometimes you would be in the playground and the drop bears would come. Like, this is why I have a cat enclosure to protect Shuri from the drop bears. I don't want some drop bear to get Shuri. You keep away from my Shuri, dirty drop bears. Sharon says, my top figure of the year so far is Darth Maul 2.0. Shuri, where are you going? She doesn't know what to do with herself. Neither do I. That's fine. It's funny, Anthony, though. I always wondered, like, I feel like if I ever found a snake in my house, I would just throw the keys at it and run. I'd grab Shuri and we would run, and I would tell the snake it owned the house and to look after my collection. That's Star Wars in 60 seconds. What a treat. Always a treat. Enjoyable as always. Wednesday. This was a super quick announcement to release, which I can't remember what they said the release was going to be. But of course, the announcement went out through 16Kit to say that the volume of stock that was going to be available in the Asian market had been reduced. And it did make us wonder, what does that mean? Is that just that this will be a bit more of a limited figure? Will it be cancelled? But it's been released, and it's been released very quickly. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of people hating on this figure. I think it looks really good. Like, I have to admit, this is another one where the blogger photos ranged wildly. Like, some of them did not look particularly well lit. But there was some like this that I thought looked fantastic. I really like this figure. So I'm keen to know, is this figure as bad as people say? Because I look at it, I feel like it looks good. I feel like it comes with some amazing and really interesting accessories. I know it's not an IP for everyone, but I don't think it's as bad as people make out. So I wanted to really spend a minute talking about this Wednesday and hearing what you guys think about this figure. Mike says, not to go off on a tangent. That's fine. I do it all the time. But I wouldn't mind visiting Australia, but the long travel to get there, as well as feeling like I'd have to tiptoe everywhere, keeps me from pulling the trigger. But the call of Tim Tams are compelling. I mean, chewy caramel Tim Tams. Look, it's a trek. I have been to the US 3 times. But this is why I think if you come here, then stay for a decent amount of time. Like whenever I've gone to the US, it's always been for like 4 or so weeks. I would never go for like a week or 2 because I feel like you're just going to kill your body. But I mean, I'm obviously biased. I think Australia is a great place to visit. And I think each state is very different. But things are a lot more spread out than in the US. Like it still takes me a bit to wrap my head around that sometimes when you are in the US, you fly into an airport that's in a different state. Like in Australia, lol, like no, our states are huge. Like the state I live in is like bigger than Texas. Like I'm not joking. So it's that's the thing that kind of gets me. Oh, Ash says if you ever do, hit me up. There you go. You can stay at Ash's house and cosplay as Deadpool. That's fun. Wednesday came out on a Wednesday. That is fun. I mean, who knew that Hot Toys could do things like that? Good to see you, Benny. Toy Collector says, I paid it off with 1/6 kit. Looking forward to receiving it. I think she looks great. Austin says, another question. If you could get rid of the rest of your figures, what 3 would you keep no matter what? Oh, great question. If I had to get rid of my figures and keep only 3, I think it would be, can I pick a vehicle? I'm picking a vehicle. I would keep my 89 Batmobile. I would keep my 89 Batman and my 89 Joker. If I can't keep the vehicle, I would keep the QS1, which is the quarter scale Christian Bale Batman. But that's a good question. I should maybe do that as an audience participation question in the future. Valkyrie, my goodness. Good morning, Helen Tim Tam Fun. Valkyrie, at the end of this stream, we're doing the Tim Tam giveaway. I'm launching it. But the $4.99 super chat. Oh my God, everyone's been so generous tonight. Thank you so much. But yeah, at the end of this stream, I'm going to publish my video announcing the Tim Tam giveaway because it's my 1-year stream anniversary. Can't believe it. And I want to send these Tim Tams out before it gets too hot. So if you want to win some Tim Tams, make sure you check out my video. I'll be publishing it as soon as this stream ends. Natalie says, I could handle the spiders, Helen, but not the snakes. I'd run and take my dogs with me. I'm with you, Natalie. I'm the same. Like the spiders, no probs. The snakes, I got no time for them. And it's funny because this time of the year, you get all the people on TV like warning you about like not just the snakes, but like what to do and what not to do. Like don't throw things at them because you might provoke them. And I'm like, I would just run. I'd grab Shuri and I would run. That's all I would do. Winman says, this looks pretty good. Not a fan of the show, the films, the actress. So not for me. I did watch the old black and white TV show. Me too. Oh my God, it's happening. Is it going to happen? Shuri. Look at that magnificent tail. Hello, Shuri. Everyone wants to wish you happy birthday, Sweet Pea. Yeah. You just want them to see your tail. You're going to go find William Wang for everyone. Okay, you go find William Wang. Yeah, I watched the old Addams Family show as well. I haven't seen Wednesday. So this took me by surprise, and it did make me think, is this a show that's really popular in Asia? Is that why they're making it? But then they made that announcement of, we're producing less in Asia. So it's an interesting IP for them to do. I don't know if this was them testing the waters a bit, like they've of course done Squid Games from Netflix. So they may be trying to see if some of these Netflix IPs might be worth investigating in figure form. I don't know. It's a good question. Mike says, I have no opinion on this one since I have no context. I like Jenna, and I think this is definitely in the ballpark likeness-wise. I think so too. So many people saying it doesn't look like her. I feel like in certain shots it does, but as I said, the blogger photos, some of them were, again, not painting the picture in the best light. Keep only 3, that question stresses me out. I mean, fair enough too. I would so buy a life-size thing. I'm surprised. I'm surprised no one's made a life-size thing, to be honest. My goodness. Laura says that is a glorious tail. It is. I call it her raccoon tail. It's very magnificent. Shuri has a magnificent coat and a magnificent tail. Austin, another question. Helen, what figures are you looking forward to getting this year before it ends? Great question. I think with the lag time between Hong Kong and Australia, I don't know what else I'm going to get before the end of the year. But I would love to see like the Batman Returns Batman is in the release window. Or even, I can't believe I'm saying this, like the Clooney Batman and Robert, like something in that realm. But as I say, even if it releases now, I'm probably not getting it to the new year. So I feel like a third-party release would be more likely. Let me just quickly check my PO list, because I don't even think I have that many third-party figures on pre-order. I've got a bunch of So-So Toy figures on pre-order, actually. Like, I'd love to get one of those one day, if you're listening, guys. So I've got, like, some Flash figures, the Deathstroke, the Supergirl. I mean, I'd love to get any one of those, because I've had them on pre-order for the longest time. The odds of that, I think, are very slim. I have no faith in So-So Toys at the moment. So, yeah, maybe Batman Returns would be cool if that came out now, because maybe I'd then get it in the new year. That would be cool. Spiders, hell to the no. I'm still scared from that video from Down Under about a giant spider on the wall with a freaking mouse in its fangs. It didn't even look like there was a shoe big enough. Yeah, there probably isn't a shoe big enough. AJ says, I think the figure looks good, but based off all the no's to picking it up, including myself, it does make me wonder who the target audience was. I'm with you. It really, that's what I wondered. Was this some like really popular Netflix show in Asia? Is it just them testing the waters? Like, are they looking at some other Netflix IPs and thought this is a good option because it's standalone figure? I'm assuming can get away with just doing her, but I don't know. It really surprised me that they're doing this. It was a bit like when they did Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Totally left of field, and it made us think, oh, okay, are they going into Disney? And then they didn't do anything else really to go with it. So it was just a head scratcher. Laura says, I thought the Wednesday show was only okay. I think the figure looks pretty good. Austin's also looking forward to Batman Returns. Me too. I'd buy an Artisan Cousin It. Oh, fair enough. Morticia would be a great Artisan figure, wouldn't she, with all that hair? But as I said, like I looked through these photos, and I do think there's a lot to like about this Wednesday figure. I feel like people are being really critical of this one, and I wonder if it's because it's just not of interest to them. But I look at this, and it comes with some super cool accessories, like a 6-scale cello, a chair, an umbrella. I think you get 3 different versions of like it. I think the uniform looks cool. Like, you think of, like, Hot Toys with suits, they've come a long way. Before, when things had layers, it was really bulky. This looks like it sits really nice to the body. So I feel like this is getting really harshly criticized, if I'm completely honest. Austin, Helen, do you believe there's such a thing as a Grail figure? I do. I think the phrase probably gets dropped a bit too quickly and easily. But I do. I would consider something like I think the Jack Nicholson Joker is a Grail. I think things like Yondu are becoming a Grail. Hela potentially is a bit of a Grail. So yeah, I do. I just feel like whenever something comes out and it's good, people are like, oh, it's a Grail, it's a Grail. But I also feel like there's got to be a bit of limited nature or exclusivity to these Grails. And I feel like figures like Yondu and Hela probably didn't have the biggest production numbers, which I think adds to them being a Grail, because how often do you see them on the secondary market? Hardly ever. Hardly ever. Jaron says, I have this Wednesday on pre-order. I think it looks cool. Batman Collectibles is here. Hello, Helen. Sorry I'm late. That's fine. You come whenever you feel like you can. But thank you for coming and hanging out. Coming to hang out. Use your words. Laura says, I'd love Morticia from the old TV show. I mean, it's kind of iconic, like that black and white show. I still remember as a kid, like Morticia, Gomez. You could even Gomez might be down for some nice rooted hair. His hair was a little bit longer. Could totally happen. But yeah, I do feel like the criticism on Wednesday is just a bit harsh, if I'm honest. I don't see it as a bad figure. As I say, it comes with a ton of stuff. And I think this is the thing where I feel like I can kind of appreciate something if it isn't for me. Like, Wednesday is not for me, but as I say, I look at it, it comes with some awesome accessories. I think it looks really good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the sculpted hair that people don't like. I like sculpted hair because I think a style like this would be hard to maintain if it's rooted. I don't know. I just think the criticism's a little bit harsh. So let me know, either live or in the comments, what do you think? Do you think it's good? Do you not like it? If you don't like it, what don't you like about it? And let's be constructive in our comments. Because as I said, particularly these blogger photos with that kind of bright background, I really like it. I think it's super cool. Austin asks, Helen, would it be great if the Batman Returns figure comes around December, just like the theme of the movie? I mean, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie, Austin, so I'm so glad you brought that up. I watch Batman Returns every Christmas. Some people think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I think Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. So that would be kind of awesome if that was the case. It would be great if they announced some more stuff from Batman Returns around that time, but I don't know that that's going to happen ever. But yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool. I really want that Returns Batman so much. Even though I have 2 of the 89 ones, I still want the Returns one so much. Mike says the hand, is it called thing, always trips me out just because it looks like a random hand growing out of her. It is thing. But you get 3 of them, like with different like poses, which I think is so cool. I think it's so cool. Yeah, and she comes with some awesome accessories. So that like, is it like a stained glass window like backdrop? Like, is that part of it? Or is that just something the bloggers have used? I don't know. But as I said, cool accessories. You've got 3 versions of thing. You've got the chair, you've got the cello, you've got this like crystal ball contraption. Like, she comes with a lot. She comes with a lot of accessories, and some of these figures can be pretty hit and miss. Like, I tell you now, Endgame Wanda came with some hands and some fire effects. Not much. She did have an awesome diorama base, though. But, like, this comes with a lot, which is really impressive, because a lot of these things are probably unique accessories they've had to make. Like, I don't think any other Hot Toys figure has come with, like, a cello or a crystal ball type thing like this. I wish there was an extra thing flipping the middle finger. Well, that's where third party will probably come along. Because I remember when Hot Toys did the first Deadpool figure, there was literally someone did a middle finger gloved hand for Deadpool that you could use. So I'm sure someone will do it. Toy Collector says, as someone who has it on order, I'm happy with how it turned out, going next to my Pennywise creepy shelf. Oh, that's cool. Bit of a horror theme. Nice. Windman says, honestly, I feel the sculpt criticism on darn near every figure released is a bit much. Here. Folks either hate something, love something, or are hypercritical. It can be a bit much sometimes. I'm with you. That's why I often say, like, is it a Hot Toys figure if people aren't complaining about the head sculpt? And this is where I'm like, is the expectation too high? Is it the thing that people do to justify not getting something? Like, I really don't know where it comes with. And this is my thing, because I feel like with Inner and J&D coming out, people make out like older Hot Toys things are terrible and everything needs a 2.0 and it's all so bad. And again, that's part of the reason why I made like my video this week, because I'm like, no, there's some of these older figures are still amazing, and so many figures get so much criticism when they're actually quite good. So I felt like I saw so much negative sentiment about this Wednesday, and I was looking at these photos going, but I think it looks nice. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem here, folks? Toy Collector says accessories are pretty darn cool. I agree. 100%. Austin says, I'll pass on the Wednesday figure. Reason being, I've never had interest in watching the show after watching a few episodes in the past. That's fair enough. I mean, you know, if you're not into the show, that's fair enough. I just, as I said, I just, as a community, like, Windman's so right. Like, things, and some sculpts, like, deserve a bit of criticism, but I don't feel like every sculpt is the clanger that people make it out to be, in my opinion. Uncarded Review says, unfortunately, the Hot Toys feedback loop is always the same people. Say they want Hot Toys to take risks. Hot Toys takes risks, and people say it's nice, but not for me. More Iron Man coming. Well, that's the funny thing, Uncarded Reviews. Like, people often talk about, oh, I'm so sick of neutral expressions. Stop giving us neutral expressions. And then when they do something that's not a neutral expression, it's like, won't somebody please think of the children? And people get upset that it's not a neutral expression. And I'm like, it's hard. Even the Tony Stank head sculpt, I have it. It's fine. Like, if you look at him at the start of Endgame, he's not looking his best. I actually, I don't, like, yeah, I think even that I feel like gets so harshly criticized, that head sculpt. Batman Collectible says, I think people just like to complain. I have the new Superman coming in, and I think it looks great, even though the masses don't seem to like it. I think it looks good too. I really like that base as well. Even people complaining that Crypto's not articulated. Is that the hill to die on? I don't know. Austin asks, are you looking forward to anything In-Art is making? Me, I'm only looking forward to the Christopher Reeve Superman 2-pack. I have an interest in things they're making just to see what they're making, but I think as far as what would I potentially want to buy, of everything they've shown, the Anne Hathaway Catwoman would be the one that I would have interest in and potentially buy, depending on what that final prototype looks like. So yeah, definitely Anne Hathaway Catwoman for me. Windman says, sometimes it's warranted, a la Supergirl, but it was fixed. I just need my figures to pass the test of if someone comes to the room, they know who the figure is supposed to be. not looking for a clone. Yeah, this is the thing that gets me. Like I had Iron Logan come over not that recently, and he hadn't seen my 89 Batmobile before. And so he came in and I turned the lights of the cabinets on, and straight away he was like, oh my God, that's insane. It's huge. And it's funny because even he was like, oh, like, which one is this? And I said, oh, believe it or not, it's the Hot Toys one. I said, the Jazz Inc. one is bigger. But, like, that's what gets me. There was no part of him that's going, oh, it's great, but it's inaccurate. It's underscale. Like, these things have such a presence. And I can't think, unless it's like a custom figure I've made, I don't think any collector that follows the superhero genre has looked at any of my stuff and not known who people are meant to be. And this is the thing, like Supergirl, everyone hated on it. And then when it came out, everyone was rushing to try to find her. Ash Tony was in space. Yeah, I think people forget that. I have no issue with that Tony Stark head sculpt. I think it's fine. Austin asks, if you could hang out with Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne, which one would it be? Bruce Wayne every day of the week. It's not even a question. Crypto, not the hill to die on, but the in-art Crypto is so much nicer looking. Oh, it's nicer looking, but I mean, I don't know that I need a Crypto to articulate. Like, an animal like that being like a solid figure, I can live with. I definitely don't think it looks perfect. I mean, I think it's a step up from Goose the cat, but it's not perfect. But people were like annoyed it doesn't articulate, and I was going, really? Like, he's got a stand and a cape. What more do you want? Anthony says, in-art Christopher Reeve 2-pack is definitely on my radar. I'm sure it's on a lot of people's radar. I think they said that should go up for pre-order in Q4, which is, I'm sure, going to have a lot of people excited. Hey, what's wrong with clones? Did I miss something? Kyle's here. Glad to be able to catch you live. Hello, Kyle. How you doing? Happy Friday. Oh my God, Uncarded Reviews. This is one of my favorite sayings. Comparison is the thief of joy. I have to tell myself that all the time, particularly in this YouTube game. Comparison is the thief of joy. Things were much more simple when the options were limited. Collectors are spoiled for choice, so everyone is constantly making comparisons between the companies. Yeah, even when I got my Hot Toys Battinson, and I love that. And people were like, are you getting the in-art one? I'm like, no, I've got the Hot Toys one. Like, I'm not then going to get the in-art one as well. But comparison is the thief of joy is such a good saying, and I think a really important one. I'm not lying when I say I often have to say that to myself. It's a really good phrase to ground yourself, I would say. AJ says, I'm really impressed with how quickly Hot Toys released this figure and it didn't drop in quality with that speed too. Yeah, it's been crazy to think, like Wednesday, Superman, the Sam Wilson Captain America, really quick turnaround from announcement to release. And I think all three of those figures look really good. Hot Toys does a great job with the Anthony Mackie likeness, I think. Windman says, I had a plumber come over the other day and he spent 15 minutes gawking at all the figures and he loved them and he knew who each figure was supposed to be. Plus, he didn't think I was a widow. Oh my God, Windman, I had a guy come to fix my ceiling and there was like a bit of a crack in this room, which I was like freaked out about. And it was so funny because it was him and his maybe like 20-something-year-old son. And they came into this room and they were like, oh my God, it's John Wick. Oh my God, it's Batman. And they were like, can we take pictures? And I was like, sure. And I turned the lights on and they were just tripped out at all the stuff I had. And that is honestly a pretty standard reaction that I get from people. I even had a friend of mine brought like her grandkids over. She's got like a 12-year-old grandson. And he was just like tripped out. He was like, oh my God, like your friend's house is so cool. He's like, can we go again? And I'm like, sure, you can come again. Like, I love that. Like, I love seeing people's reaction and, you know, if they want to come have a look, I'm totally down with that. Laura's like, yep, agreed, don't need articulated animals. I don't think so. either. Batman Collectible says, I've never cared for the animal accessories. I have the third-party penguin and the two penguins just standing next to it. What are people trying to do with these animals? I don't get it either. Like, what do you need Crypto to do that he's not already doing pre-posed? Because then you'd probably complain that Crypto had visible joints, right? You'd probably then complain that Crypto had visible joints. Like, you can't win with some people. Austin asks another question. When Hot Toys Batman Return figure comes out, are you going to create another civilian Michael Keaton, aka Bruce Wayne figure? I don't know. My immediate thought was to potentially use that head sculpt on the Mars Toys Mr. W. But then I'm like, I don't know if I want to have him with the ripped cowl. I feel like I want to keep my 4 Batman figures the same in the cowl. So I do wonder if I feel like I'll use it for Mr. W to give him a little bit of an upgrade. That's my feeling at this point. Mike says, I got to admit, I have my collection displayed in my living room and I finally got someone who admired them. It's a much better feeling than the eye rolls I typically get. Oh, I'm sorry you get eye rolls. I would appreciate your collection. Having said that, my toilet still doesn't flush, but I'm glad he liked the figures. Lol, kidding. He did great work. Oh, goodness. You made me laugh, Windman. That's hilarious. So Wednesday, as I said, I don't think it's that bad. Let me know what you think. If you're watching on the replay, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about Wednesday. Because it was a bit of a slower news week and we do Star Wars in 60 seconds. I thought, why don't we talk about the Jazz Inc. 12th scale Batwing? We haven't formally talked about it, but let's talk about it. So Jazz Inc. is doing this as a Kickstarter. I personally think their move towards this Kickstarter functionality on the website, I think that's a great idea. Make people put their money where their mouth is before you start producing things, getting things in order, and then it doesn't eventuate. So I really liked the idea. I'll be really honest. I have been surprised at the pre-order numbers because I thought this would be very popular. The 6 scale Batwing is huge. Like, it's almost as tall as I am. So I thought this being a much more collector-friendly size would appeal to people. I think of it like the Bat with the Dark Knight Rises. Like, that in 6 scale would have been too big. So they've done it in 12th scale. So it's interesting because at one point this week, even the pre-order numbers took a jump back, which got people concerned. So the target they're going for is 3,000. Yoast has said, I think it was a 6 scale Mafia stream, that if they got to 2,000, he would probably still go ahead with it. But the pre-orders are hovering at around 700 and something. And I think there's 40 days to go. So I was kind of keen to know, like, what do people think about this Batwing? Like, are you interested? Because I think a lot of people here are Batman fans. Are you interested? Because for me, I am interested. Have I backed it yet? I haven't. Because I'm trying to work out where I'd put the thing. There's a part of me, because I drew it up, thinking, do I put my 89 to 97 display in here and have the Batwing in it? Because the Batwing could fit in my garage display. Or do I put it on top of the cabinet? This is where I need to sort out my space. But I personally think this looks good. And I've typically not been tempted by Jazz Inc. vehicles, but I feel like of all the releases they've had, the Batwing is the one where I don't feel like I really ever heard about major QC issues or problems. So I feel like they did this really well the first time around. So that's why I'm intrigued. Unique vehicle, it's at a good scale. I think this looks really impressive. I love that they're giving you the options to have the display stand. And they even talked about, depending how well it's backed, maybe giving you like attachments to have the Batwing at different angles, which I think would be cool to give you the option if you want it more flat or more vertical. But even having it like you see in this picture, like, I think that's awesome that it comes with this really cool stand. The base of it looks like the Batman symbol, which is awesome. It's got different SKUs, so you can get it with like a mini 12th scale seated Batman if you so desire. But I like this, but I'm keen to know, like, if you're a Batman collector, does this interest you? Doesn't it interest you? Have you ordered? Are you waiting to order? I don't know. I feel like for me, I don't know what's stopping me from ordering it, if I'm honest. I feel like I probably should just do it. But I don't know. So this is where I'm like, is it a case that there's a lot of people like me that are intent to order it? Because I feel like I tend to wait. Like, even with the Catwoman, I waited till right at the end of what was meant to be the 2-month pre-order window. Lol, jokes on us. I waited right to the end because I guess I want to have my mind sure that I want it before I drop like an NRD. So I am keen to know what people are thinking and feeling about this. Because I do have to wonder, like, I know Jazz Inc. has said in the past, like, 12th scale's been difficult. They've struggled getting people to order, because I feel like the price for this is very well priced. I think we're talking in like the $400 US range, depending on which set you get. So the price is right, but if you get the number of people, because I feel like if they only get 1,000 and they turn around and say, right, we can do this for 800-900, I feel like they're going to lose a bunch of people. So I am legitimately keen to see how this goes as far as does it reach the number. Austin asks, have you ever reached your capacity of collecting so many hot toys and custom figures? I'm starting to have that issue. Look, my current space is at capacity, but I have more space, if that makes sense. I've questioned that at times. Like, and I think that's probably why I don't go into new lines lightly. I try to make sure that things I like have a bit of longevity to me. So that's probably why most of my pre-orders are things like Batman or the Arrowverse, which are things I've liked for a long time. I don't easily jump into new lines that I don't have. I don't know if that answers your question. Batman Collectible says, people talk this up and now it's up crickets. Yep. I had the 6-scale Batwing and I had no space, really hoping this happens. Not looking good. Yeah, I mean, I do feel like the size, because in the Jazz Inc. group, they had posted a bit of a 3-dimensional image showing the space it would take up. And I feel like it is a very, like, collector-friendly size. I think it would fit in a modular case pretty comfortably. I know for me it fits in my garage display pretty comfortably. I still know I could fit a lot of figures around it. Yeah, I don't know if it's just going to be this last-minute push, because I don't know enough about the 12th scale community to know. Like, for us in 6 scale, I think we look at this and go, that's a bargain. The 12th scale community, are they looking at this going, oh my God, that's so expensive, $400, wouldn't do that. That's the missing piece for me. I don't know what that 12th scale community is like, and if they are reliant on finding enough 6 scale collectors that would get this, or if they're trying to attract a whole new market. Because even, like, to their credit, like, Jazz Inc. has been running ads. I think they need to be doing videos of this Batwing. Like, the ad I see just has the picture of the 4 options. Like, you need to get some video footage showing how good that is. Make people stop scrolling and pay attention. Like, I definitely feel like they need a few more ad creatives in there to get people's attention. Mike says, it's nice having a more manageable scale for a vehicle like this, but as much as I appreciate this, I just can't go down the vehicle rabbit hole. And I get that too. Vehicles take a lot of space and they are a commitment. I didn't think I would go beyond what I have, but this for me is like, I never thought we'd get something like this. So I do feel like it's a big temptation. Kyle says, I pre-ordered. I hope it gets backed. I hope it gets back too. I really do. Austin says, to me, when it comes to the Jazz Inc. 89 Batwing, the problem is you really don't have a realistic 89 12 scale Batman figure that's very articulated. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it will have the flying Batman or the seated Batman in it. But yeah, that's the thing. If you do want to keep it true to scale, what figures are you using? I don't know. I'm not a big 12th scale person to know. Winman says, I'm not a huge Batman fan, but I would totally get this because it's the perfect confluence of reasonable price and reasonable size. And that's where I'm at. I'm at that. I don't know Hot Toys is ever tackling this. I don't know that they will be doing it for this price. I love that it has the figure stand. Like, I think this ticks so many boxes. Really does. I think that's Gilbert. The usernames are doing funky things. But Gilbert, if that's you, hello. Bad timing. I guess too many other good figures from Hot Toys, InArt, J&D, Mondo, third party, hard to keep up. And I think that's the thing. I think because there is so much more competition and things coming at a higher price point, like the J&D figures ain't cheap. Some of those InArt figures are up there in price as well. So, but this is where it makes me laugh because then people were asking for like the penguin duck boat. And so I'm like, if they can't get this over the line, I can't think people are actually going to pre-order a duck boat at the volume they would need to make that happen. Uncarded Review says, typical of the hobby, everybody says they want these abstract or obscure projects until it requires a firm commitment on their part. Then suddenly the support goes silent. Bunch of looky-loos. But I think that's what Yost said about Star Wars. Like, people would say they would want stuff, and then when he put things to PO, the numbers weren't there. Whereas he had said that wasn't as bad with Batman. But yeah, I'm really quite taken aback. Like, this started really strong. Like, I felt like it got to 500 very quickly, but it just sat at that 700 range for a while now. So, enable mode on, do it, order, it's lovely. Yeah, I feel like I will order it. But I feel like I am going to do it more last minute, maybe. I don't know. Although the NRD is not that much. If it gets up, that's when they charge you. So I don't know. Personally, I don't trust Jazz Inc. products. Look, I know there's been QC issues. Like I've been very vocal about that. But I feel like this Batwing was a vehicle that I did not hear about big QC issues, big problems. Like, I feel like this one, and I'm wondering if because it's not the issue where people have talked about the wheels and suspension and things like that. I feel like the Batwing was a strong release for them. So I feel like then scaling that down, I'm hoping it will also not be problematic. I already backed the 12th scale option. Oh, the number 4. Helen, you sound like you're going to be getting it. I feel like I am Collection Obsession. Because I literally draw out my display and where I'm going to put things. I literally drew out the 89 to 97 shelf because I had to remember what figures I was getting to map it out. And I feel like I can make it work in my garage display. And if not, maybe I'll pop it on top of the cabinet. I don't know. It's a good price, seriously. Like, when they came out with the pricing and it was in that $400 range, I was stunned. I was expecting it to be a lot more. Batman Collectibles says 100% agree on price. Some people are willing to pay more, but I promise a ton will drop out because they expect the 300 plus shipped. I agree. Because people have said, oh, hey, if we get to 1,000, would you still do it? And I do agree. I think if the price was going to go up, you would probably lose a bunch of people. So, yeah, and this is the thing. I don't know what the answer is. Is it trying to appeal to that 12th scale market, or is it getting more 6th scale collectors to realize how good this is and kind of convince them to pre-order? Oh, the usernames are doing funky things, so I don't know who this normally is and if this is someone that's a regular. Just tuned in. Happy birthday, Shuri. Thank you. She's 4, my little munchkin. Time flies. I wish I wish YouTube wasn't funkying up the names, because I don't know if this is someone regular. So apologies if you're someone I know very well. Spin Master and McFarlane Toys already made the Batwing 12 scale for a much lower price. Those small scale collectors are frugal. Well, this is what gets me, because that was what I wasn't sure about, like Inart going into 12th scale, because their Batman, like I heard it was really good. But when I looked at the price point, I was like, a 12th scale collector's dropping, like in Australia, I think it was like $150 at Pop Culture. Whereas I feel like when I see things like Marvel Legends and things like that at the shops, they're more like your $40 to $60 range. And that was my thing. Like, is the price too much for the 12th scale collectors? So is the objective here trying to really appeal more to that 6 scale market to convince them to get it? Collection Obsessions is, I feel like there are too many options for the 12th scale Batwing. I would have just offered option 1, very basic, and ultimate number 4 all in. Yeah, I mean, there is quite a few SKUs, but I mean, obviously, because it's just, you know, same, slightly different. I guess that's why they're doing it. I feel like if I was getting it, I would get the 4 and just get it all. And then if I didn't want to use the Batman, I wouldn't use it. I think that display stand is a big plus. I kind of don't know why people maybe wouldn't want that stand. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know. I think the stand is a big appeal for me. Paul's here. Hello, everyone. Hello to you, Paul. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Mans PD? Is that how I say your name? Hello there. Hello to you. Welcome. Batman Collectibles, have you heard his numbers on Catwoman and Penguin? Catwoman over 4,000, and don't remember exactly, but less than 1,000 for Penguin. Fascinating what people do and don't want. Yeah, I did Batman Collectibles. So the Penguin was at 700, and I have to say, those numbers were so much lower than I expected. When they said the Catwoman had done well, in my mind, I literally had like 10,000. Oh, it sold 10,000. And when they said the Danny DeVito was low, I was thinking, oh, maybe 2,000. So when they threw those numbers out there, I was very surprised. So Jazzink had said that 500 is sort of the minimum number they need to do. I do legitimately feel with the Penguin, because I know I'm in this camp, I feel like people want to see the Catwoman or have received the Catwoman before they commit to the Penguin. I'm very much like that. Like, show me some production images of the Catwoman before I make my mind up about the Penguin. So I do kind of wonder if they should have waited before putting that pre-order up, or maybe been further down the line with the Catwoman before they announced it. I feel like they rushed that announcement because of the Eternal Toys figure. And obviously, it's taken them a lot of time to get the custom body right. So I do feel like might that have helped? Maybe. But I know for me, if Catwoman comes out and it's amazing, I would entertain Penguin. But until I know what that Catwoman is, but yeah, because I know now Yost is saying that a lot of the figures he was considering are now in doubt. Like, he was saying he didn't think he would get to 500 Vicky Vale. And he was even questioning the Uma Thurman Poison Ivy, which surprised me, because I do feel like, given Hot Toys is doing Batman and Robin and Mr. Freeze, I have to think you're going to find 500 people that want a Poison Ivy. But that said, Mars Toys has also said they're doing theirs. So it will be interesting. But this is where I do think having that back the build functionality for them is probably going to be a really good thing going forward. Put it as back the build, get the numbers you need, get that assurance before you just put something up for PO and then people don't actually commit to something. They voted in a poll, because voting in a poll and actually putting in your payment details are two different things. I like the payment plan option for the Batwing 2. Agreed. Like, the installments are very low, given you can do it for 12 months. So this is why I'm like, why am I procrastinating on this? I don't know. That's the back view. I like the stand. As I said, I really hope, and I don't know that, you know, if it'll get enough orders, that there is the option to have the poles of different lengths so you can have it at a different angle. I don't know. Chris Collectibles. I thought I would stick to just 6-scale figures. Recently purchased the Bat Cycle and the Bat Pod. Will stay away from Batmobile because my space is very limited. Yeah, the bikes are very very space friendly. The Bat Pod is a bit bigger. The Bat Cycle, the Battinson one, like I know I've got that in a Detolf. It fits in very comfortably. But this is where I wish Hot Toys would do some motorbikes. Like I have to think like a Harley to go with the Terminator, and I think would go with a lot of other figures, would be such a I could see that being popular, but haven't done it. Austin asks, Helen, any custom figures you're working on as of late to do a video short? So my current thing is a John Wick 2. And I think I will do a video about that, but I don't know what I'm doing head sculpt wise. So I feel like I should probably wait for that. So making my ultimate John Wick 2 is probably my current kit bashing obsession. I don't really have anything else in the works for now, but we'll see. Broke Collector says, I have 4 Jazz Inc. vehicles, no QC issues for how much I paid for my 6-scale Batwing. This 12th scale is priced phenomenally. I agree. And this is why I guess I'm surprised that it's been such a slow burn. And I know there often is those last minute rush of orders, but when it got to 500 so quickly, I kind of thought, okay, like surely it's going to get to 1,000 within a week. But it as I say, it even just took a step back. Like it jumped back a bit, which got people really worried to the point where they're like, oh my God, I don't think this is going to happen. And I'm like, I don't know. Austin says, one thing I know for the 12th scale community is huge. I was surprised. Yeah, I have no idea how popular it is or isn't, but this is my thing. I feel like their price point, as much as we look at this and feel like this is really well priced, I feel like they're looking at this and thinking it's very expensive. Akira's here. Hello. Just catching up. Don't worry, Helen, Star Wars is overrated. I know. Statue companies downgrade to 6-scale figures to try and retain their customer base, and now 6-scale companies are doing the same with 12-scale. It's trending downwards. I mean, InArt's doing it right. Helen, have you seen the Shanghai convention where InArt was showing off their 12th scale figures like Batman, Arkham figure and vehicle? I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I did. I saw it, but my interest is not there. And I feel like for as little as they produce, I wish they would focus more on 6-scale because their production numbers are not huge. Helen, speaking of the Bat Pod, I believe you have one, correct? Yes, it's right here. So it isn't. So, if so, isn't it all plastic? Does it articulate at all? No, it's plastic. It's definitely plastic. The tires are, I'm guessing, some kind of rubber. The handlebars move, and I'm pretty sure there might be a little bit of movement in the front wheel, but there's not a huge amount of movement there. John from InArt said on a live stream that they are much more productive, prolific at 12th scale versus 6th scale, and that's where their focus currently is. Yeah, I watched the stream, but they also talked about having different teams. So I don't know if it's just the 12th scale stuff is quicker to produce because it's not as much focused on likeness, accuracy, and rooted hair and all that. But, you know, I guess they're going to make what it sell. Oh, yes, it's me, Gilbert. I have updated YouTube and now it changes all the names to @ Yeah, Gilbert, we were saying before that because YouTube had some issues in the middle of the week. And I'm seeing everybody's names very differently. So that's why some people, it's just some numbers afterwards. So I know who they are, but some names are like completely different. So this is where I'm like, oh my God, like sometimes people are in and I'm like, I feel bad because if they're a regular and I don't see their normal name, I don't want them to think I'm being rude or whatever. But yeah, YouTube, lol. Seated Batman. Like, it looks good in there. Like, it looks like there's quite a bit of detail in the cockpit. Like, even at that size, like, to me, it looks impressive. Like, I know Yost did say I think there was a couple of differences between the 6th scale and the 12th scale. I don't really get caught up in smoke effects and sound effects. Like, I'm not going to use that stuff, so I don't really mind if that stuff's not there. I think there were going to be maybe some lights potentially, but not as many. I still think it looks really good. I probably just need to get off the fence and pre-order, right? A lot of us probably just need to get on the fence and pre-order. Austin says, Helen, you also mentioned in your top 7 figures you had with me on wishing you had the Killmonger. I do have him and love him. Yeah, I have. I really like the Black Panther line of figures. And because I've got the Shuri and she's amazing, but she's in my A-Force. And there has been a time, I think particularly when they recently did that other Black Panther figure that came with the shield. And I was like, should I make a little Black Panther display? Because it's one of my favorite Marvel movies. Like, I think it's a great movie. Like, the Black Panther looks great. Killmonger looks great. I always get it mixed up. T'Chaka's the dad, right? That figure looks great. And then I thought I could even put the Black Panther 2 Shuri with it and keep the original there. But it all comes down to space. That's my thing. Like, I've even seen some Killmongers getting sold locally, and I've been incredibly tempted because I do think that's a great looking figure. But as I said, I feel like I don't want to start any new lines at the moment when my space is so limited. Helen, I mean, you should know by now the answer to any question related to purchasing in this community is yes. I mean, yeah, we are all enablers in one way or another, right? But as I said, I just thought it would be interesting to chat about the Batwing because, as I said, I thought this would be in a stronger position than what it currently is, and I was keen to hear people's views. It sounds like a lot of people do think it looks cool. Like, quite a few people have backed this. I'm thinking, like, maybe I just need to back this. It does look really good. You can put it on a 12-month payment plan and it's maybe $40 a month. He'll not take a single cent until it's at the goal. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I think the NRD is not big. If you put it on the 12-month payment plan, it's not that much. Even when he had the shipping estimate to Australia, like, it was not too bad. So there's definitely a lot to like about this one. So we'll see. Hopefully it gets the numbers. I think it would be a shame if it didn't. So I do have my fingers crossed for Jazz Inc. with this one. Guys, tomorrow is Two Greek Geeks. So if you've not had enough of me today, I will be live with Costa on the Pop Culture Living Room channel. We're going to go live at 10 a.m. Eastern in the US. So we've pushed it back an hour to make it a little bit more, give you a chance to sleep in a little bit on your Saturday morning. So Two Greek Geeks is happening, which monthly stream that I do with Costa. I really enjoy it. So I will post, I'll do a post to share the link to that tomorrow. Kalimera, kalinichta, I kalimesimeri. I can say it in Greek too, although I said it in the wrong order. Kalimera, kalimesimeri, kalinichta. That's what we say here. So if you want to come hang out tomorrow night, check out Two Greek Geeks. Also posted a video. This is a bit, God, too much Helen on the screen, which I've mentioned a couple times in the stream. So the title 7 retro Hot Toys figures that still look good today. I look at 7 figures from my collection that I still think look good compared to today's figures. And that video has had quite a lot of engagement. So if you've watched it and commented, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. Tim Tam giveaway. It's literally this packet of Tim Tams. So guys, as I said, 1 year stream anniversary. I'm literally going to do it right now. Don't leave the stream though. I'm going to go onto YouTube. I'm going to publish the video that tells you how to win the Tim Tam. Spoiler, it involves the previous video that I mentioned. But I just been incredibly blown away by the amount of people that turn up every week, that hang out, that engage, that support my channel. Like tonight's an example of it. Like so many channel memberships gifted, super chats. Like it blows me away that people give me their time to listen. I'm like, I'm just some random woman in Australia talking to herself. And then so many of you tune in each week, which I appreciate. So given it's almost a year of me doing this, I want to give you a chance to win. And the Tim Tam Fund has been very generously donated to. So the winner gets a box with their choice of 7 different packets of Tim Tams. And in the video, I show you all the packets. I went to the supermarket. People thought I was a mad woman, which I am. I was taking pictures of the Tim Tams so I could show you the flavors. There's the deluxe flavors, but you didn't know about the deluxe flavors, did you? Shuri, did you know about the deluxe flavors? No, you didn't either because you're a cat. So, got a quick video on the channel to explain how you can win the Tim Tams. We will draw the winner on my stream on the 31st of October. I hope it's someone I know and they get in touch with me. If I'll give them a week. If I don't hear from them, we redraw the next week. So I'm hoping I've made some tweaks from last time. So I'm hoping we don't get a winner that is a gifted channel membership that I've never heard of. So let's hope not. Let's hope not. There's a few comments. Random question for you, Helen. If you have, how has your experience been ordering with 1/6 Kit? Yeah, I order quite a bit from 1/6 Kit. I would say most of my third-party stuff is through 1/6 Kit. I've had really good experiences with him. I know some people call him rude. They get upset because they want to ask where things are. I've had good experience with the kit. I've bought from him for a long time, and honestly, I think if he sold So-So toys, I probably would just order everything third-party through him. I've had the most transactions have been really seamless. I had one time where a parcel got lost for a few weeks and he sent me another one. I had a situation where I had an issue with a part from a figure. He organized a replacement. I've had times where I've had questions about certain things because something might have been slightly scratched and I've gone, hey, I'm happy to repair it. Could you ask them what the best product to use is? And he's done that. So I feel like the guy's really reasonable, but I feel like there's people who ask things that are really clearly in his terms and conditions. Like it's a non-refundable deposit. He doesn't know when things are coming out. So I think the people that want the refunds, I get it because something might take a long time to release. Your collecting priority might change. He still ordered that figure based on you getting one. And I know he mentioned with the Last of Us Ellie, he had something like 66 pre-orders cancelled. Like, that's not great for any business. So I know some people have had bad experiences. They find him rude. I've always had good experiences. So I use 1/6 Kit. For my So-So toys, I use Giant Toys. Sometimes Giant Toys has stuff Kit doesn't have. I've used them. But yeah, I've had good experiences with Kit. I really have. Random side note, what did you think of the Batcave I posted yesterday? I loved it, and I think I posted a little emoji, didn't I? I thought I posted a little emoji with some love heart eyes. It looks fantastic. IC Customs diorama, if I'm not mistaken. Great video, made me look through my figures and appreciate how good they are. Yes, that's what I wanted. That makes me so happy. Thank you. I would love for you and Luminara to do a live stream together. I mean, I'd be down for that. We have sometimes done points of articulation on Costa's channel together. It's just the time difference, because obviously when I'm streaming, like, Lumi's probably at work, so the time difference does make it a bit tricky for me to stream with other people. Thanks, Helen. Good night. Good night to you, Mr. Broke Collector. Ren Stalantino. Helen's giveaway question: Who is her favorite Star Wars figure of all time? Well, I mean, oh my god, I should have done what Star Wars figure has Helen asked to be made, because that would have been a real test. Because there is one that I used to bang on about all the time on Collectors Unite. That would be a really big test. 7 kinds, mouthwatering. There's more than 7 kinds. But I mean, I would hope that no one orders the white chocolate Tim Tams, because I don't believe in white chocolate. Austin says, everyone hit the like button. Helen deserves it. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's free. I don't know how many likes I have, but at one point I had 50-something people, so hopefully I've got 50-something likes. That would be nice. Laura says, I have a friend who used to bring boxes and boxes of Tim Tams. Crazy how many of them there are. Yeah, it didn't used to be like that. It's a very recent thing where, because for the longest time it was just the original, and then they did like the caramel and the white and the dark, but they're all like permanent flavors. But then you do get seasonal things that come out. They might hang around for a little bit. They might hang around for a while. Like the deluxe flavors have been around for a while. But like there's a strawberries and cream one out at the moment, which I'm pretty sure is just for now. And then I'm assuming will disappear. Collection Obsession says, I always order through 1/6 kit. Have never had a problem. Me neither. Mike says, thanks for letting me know, Helen, about kit. Yeah, I even for things like Jackson Zhu capes and things, like I know you can go direct through him. I still get them through kit. It's just how I roll. Mike says, white chocolate never, orange chocolate always. Look. No. Helen, right with you. White chocolate is not chocolate. It is not. It is not. It is it's an abomination is what it is. But the Tim Tam giveaway, the video is live on my channel. I'm making it really easy to enter. So if you want to win some delicious Tim Tams, please go check that video out. All the details are there. You've got till noon my time, which is GMT +8 on Wednesday, the 29th of October to enter. So you've got a bit of time, but also don't waste time, because you don't want to forget and then not win delicious Tim Tams, because that would be a shame. Another question, Helen, when are we ever going to go to Hong Kong hot toy shopping again? I mean, hopefully I'll go to Hong Kong again. Why not? It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I just, I think if I was to go again, I would probably, it was very overwhelming, the amount of shopping and videoing I did. So I think if I went again, I would do less content so I could be more present in my shopping. Because in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I wish I'd spent more time in certain areas. But who knows? Never say never, because Hong Kong's not too far from me, which I'm kind of lucky about. I actually don't dislike white chocolate, but it's not chocolate. Oh, no, it's not chocolate, but I also dislike it. I think it's way too sweet, but it's not. It's not real chocolate. That is a fact. Just like compound chocolate is not real chocolate. But anyway, guys, Tim Tams, delicious. If you win, I highly recommend picking Chewy Caramel, because they're also the best Tim Tams to slam. So if you win, I'd love you to send me a cheeky video of you doing a Tim Tam slam. That would be fun. But guys, anyway, let me get rid of, there's too much of me on the screen. Let me get rid of at least one of me. Look how happy I look with the Tim Tams. My goodness, I don't look as tired as I am right now. But guys, thank you for coming to hang out. There's not much news, but we still went for 2 hours because I can talk. as I said, I really appreciate everyone's support over the past year. I'm keeping Fridays alive. I will keep doing this for as long as I can. So I hope you keep turning up, coming to hang out, because you guys make it possible for me to do this. Like your interaction, all your comments. I really like hearing people's views on things. It's kind of nice to know that I'm not alone in thinking that I actually think a lot of Hot Toys figures are great. I don't think they're as bad as people make out. So I appreciate everyone who comes live, but also in the replay. I feel like there's so many people that are really regulars on the replay. Cousin Anthony, Katia, Kareem. A few of them have been here today, like Austin. Kevin watches the replay a lot. So many people. Like, I really appreciate it. And like everyone who comments, I do my best to get back to you, because I appreciate you giving me some of my time, some of your time. Dark chocolate all day at Americano. Yeah, dark chocolate Tim Tams, Rens. Delicious. Totally a thing. You could Tim Tam slam that with your Americano. Delicious. Austin says, great conversation. Keep Friday the way it is. That is definitely the plan. Thanks as always, Helen. Looking forward to next week. Absolutely. Back next week. Maybe Howie Claus gives us something that not Star Wars. That would be a treat. But who knows? He is an enigma wrapped in a riddle. But guys, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for coming to hang out. And I'll be back here. Shuri will be back here. Same time, same place next week. I'll see you then.